And now, back to Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. Night of the Living Dead was one of the first films to be added to the National Film Registry at the Library of Congress.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back.
So it's definitely been recognized for its important place in film history. And it came right before all the exploitation films of the 70s, when everything was popular all at once. Martial arts films were popular. So Night of the Living Dead was kind of like the early version of a grindhouse film, but is also recognized for being great art. When he pulls the wood off here, you notice the markings on it right there? That's so when they filmed out of order, they could remember where all the wood belonged on the door for continuity. Right here we have an eye line that's a little wrong. Again, they're both looking screen left, so it doesn't really match up. In film school, they talk about that all the time. It's called the 180-degree line. It's basically all about not crossing the line, not putting the camera on the other side. Here we have all the zombies again, and these people here, I wonder if only they would know how many VHS tape covers they would be on the front of. Because there are more releases of Night of the Living Dead than any other movie, I think. I can't think of anything that's been released as many times because of it being public domain. Oh, and we have John Russo coming up for the third time. He's the fire zombie. I think it's right after this cocktail here. Nope, we got one more. Boom. There he is. John Russo's been working on making a new zombie film called Escape of the Living Dead.
Go ahead, go on!
And here's where the shit hits the fan. I had a film instructor who showed this scene of the movie and commented on the editing, how tightly edited all this is. He shuts the door, she looks back. Oh crap. Like a lot of these zombies that you see only from the back. They all have their own walks, their own characteristics. Notice a lot of these scenes here, they shot day for night. Day for night is when it's daytime, like right here, it's obviously day, but they're trying to make it look like night. And that one they didn't do very well, but there are some that came out all right.
Key won't work.
Yes, he just shot a gas pump. Oh crap. Very memorable image of Mr. Cooper looking through the window at the zombies, it seems, there.
Let's get out of here. Come on, come on.
My jacket's caught.
Damn jacket. now it seems it's the explosion that Mr. Cooper's looking at. A little inconsistent, but it's a memorable image nevertheless. Shirtless zombie in the middle, shirtless zombie on the right. Those two shots were actually like a panorama almost. It was the same shot. If you would put them both together, you could make a panorama out of it. All the classic monsters, frightened by torches. Love this one here, through the trees. At certain times all you can see is the light of his torch. Let me in. It's an old cliche there. John Carpenter's Halloween did that trick too. Good stuff. Well, he's pretty pissed. I better help him out. So this is one of the more senseless things that Ben does here, where he just starts punching Mr. Cooper, which makes the audiences laugh and cheer because they hated the character. But what is it solving? At least he waited to. He even picks him up. He even picks him back up to punch him again. At least he waited to nail the door shut before he lost his control.
I dragged you out there and beat you those things.
And his expression is very zombie-like there, which kind of hints at what may come. And here comes one of the most memorable scenes of the film. This is the first time we see zombies eating people's guts. And even though it's in black and white, it's pretty shocking. I mean, when I was a young kid and I saw this, I was like, wow, they're eating their guts. One of the things that makes this movie so special to me is that it's that middle ground horror film. It's in between the black and white films and the gory color films. So I call it a cross between a chiller and a splatter flick. All these great moments. I like the one walking by with the arm in the background. Tom Savini could have been the makeup artist and effects man for this film because he knew George Romero at the time and he was going to do it, but he got called in to be a combat photographer in Vietnam, so he saw the real Gore, he saw the real thing when he was there, so that may have helped his craft later on when he became the effects man for Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. And Day of the Dead, by the way, I think is his greatest work as far as gore goes. I mean, that's amazing.
10 minutes.
The MPAA rating system went into effect in 1968, the same year that Night of the Living Dead came out. So it's, you could credit this movie for contributing to that happening. There was also Bonnie and Clyde that same year. Night of the Living Dead was out before the rating system happened, so it was the last time when young people would go into a movie like this without any restrictions.
Forget it.
You hit me.
At least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
She speaks.
You're gonna carry that child a mile?
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You're gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
Bitch.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. Where is it?
I got guts. Oh, it's that same nude zombie, by the way. They cut back and you see the same zombies a lot, but you know, it makes sense. They've just been walking all around. And now we come to more news broadcasts. And it may seem excessive, but there is one little thing that they tell people here is when they say that the radiation is causing people to keep coming back.
So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls.
And notice right when they said that, dead bodies will be, continue to be transformed, the close-up was on Mr. Cooper. A very conscious editing decision, I think.
A search and destroy operation against the ghouls. This one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement
These parts are good.
the military have been organized.
I like this. This is sort of the modern day equivalent of the classic horror films with the villagers with torches who are coming after the monsters. Like, this is how it would happen in real life today. Just a bunch of guys with guns going to, to stop
And you kill the ghoul.
the ghouls, as they call them there. I wonder if there's ever been a legitimate movie actually about a ghoul. A creature that robs graves to feed on the
How's
dead.
everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty
This
good.
guy right here,
You wanna get on the other side?
he's the best with the bullets and everything. This is George Costanza.
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't.
He's
though.
very
We
natural.
heard 'em making all kind of noise. We
And the
came
guy with the microphone here is he was actually a local horror host, Chilly Billy.
If I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot 'em in the head. That's a sure way to kill 'em. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat 'em or burn 'em. They go up pretty easy.
Future zombie movies wouldn't need to explain all that, but this is the first of its kind.
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many.
And this
of 'em
line
are.
coming up here is really great. It's one that he ad-libbed
Are they
himself.
slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
They're dead, they're all messed up. Great line. Very natural.
We don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give them.
It is interesting to note that it is daytime right now. It probably should be night. I always felt that this was recorded earlier, like it wasn't live, but I don't know. It doesn't really work out if you think about it too hard. But I never thought about it my first time watching the film. And now everything goes dark. This is when, now we had a little break, but now we're moving into the real finale.
Alarms are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
The lighting is great. How there's just little shafts of light where you can just barely see people's faces sometimes. Very creepy. Some of the most striking images from this film are zombies looking in through windows and reaching in through the cracks. Very well edited, this whole sequence.
Helen, get the cellar.
I love how so many areas of the frame are dark. saw this for the first time, I couldn't believe he shot him. To me, it made him no more, worse than the zombies, but I guess the guy was too much trouble and had to take his life. It was worth it, I guess. Love how he's silhouette there. He is turning into one of the ghouls. And the first time I saw this, I thought he was going to eat the daughter. I thought, oh God, that's real grotesque. A father who's going to eat his own daughter. But that's not what happens. And here comes Bill Heinzman. Here he is. And it's the other way around. The daughter ate the father. And now going for the mother, which is even worse. So it was an even worse idea than what I thought was going to happen. And now for the most shocking stabbing scene of its time, which really gave Psycho a run for its money. The blood was chocolate syrup, which was the same thing they did on Psycho. But what a disturbing scene. I mean, we have a daughter who's stabbing her mother to death, but there's something about the whole scene that makes it so disturbing, is that it's the soundtrack with that effect they do on her scream, and all the images, and there's Johnny Rostriner is back. And just the images from that scene, it was just the close-ups of her face with her eyes like rolling back in her head, and the shadow of her stabbing with the blood coming down the wall. What an amazing scene. Bill Heinzman looking very Karloff-like. All that arguing, and who was right? Mr. Cooper. They should have all just gone down the basement in the first place. Very Karloff-like walk there, of course. Music is so good. Now right here, I think they sort of missed an opportunity. Wouldn't this be a little bit scarier if he came down and he didn't see the bodies anywhere? That they had got up and were lurking in the basement somewhere. But no, they just rise and he shoots them right away. I think they could have milked the scene more. But with everything the movie's given us so far, I think we can forgive it. Great image there of her laying with the spade in her, the eyes opening up. Great soundtrack that we can hear the zombies upstairs. Scarier than that feeling of being trapped. I love how the movie reached some sort of climax there, and now everything's peaceful. No matter what horrible things happen, life still goes on. Nature doesn't care. Job to do, just trying to get the job done. Very convincing.
Everything appears to be under control.
Monster movies always end with the monster being defeated. It always seems like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But here, it's kind of... It falls somewhere in the middle. That it seems they have the situation under control, but everybody who we've seen is dead, except for Ben.
Down there by the barn. Okay. Some of these guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Cop.
Yep, they're dead. Hardly even matters, does it? They just take one look at the truck and it's like, yep, moving on.
Come over. There's a group of police in the other park.
They're taking down the zombies, saving the day, but there's still something very somber about it. But on the other hand, I think they really nailed the scene in Dawn of the Dead when they're listening to music and they're sort of like partying when they're killing the zombies. So it's a very different kind of feel.
Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire?
So as I've mentioned before, some people have said there is some racial subtext going on in the movie, but they weren't aware when they were making the film. They weren't trying to make a statement, but it comes off as like these are the evil rednecks and they're coming to, you know, discriminate against people they don't like.
I heard a noise.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
The first time I saw this, I was completely shocked that they killed this guy off after all this hard work trying to survive. But imagine the filmmakers' shock when they were driving to New York with the first print of the film to try and get a distribution deal, and they heard the news on the radio that Martin Luther King had been shot. They tried to sell the movie to American International Pictures and Columbia, but the studios wanted them to change the ending and make it more upbeat and add a love story and all that, but they said no deal. These men are like the Grim Reapers, taking him to his death. Bill Heinzman's name is spelled wrong in there. There's no E. This is a very creepy sequence. All these still images work really well. How depressing. They really had balls to end the movie like this. Not just that he died, but that they didn't even know. They didn't even know they made a mistake. Or as some people have analyzed, that they discriminated, they didn't even check. And I like here how we see the original zombie laying next to him.
Come ahead with the motorcycle, please. Let's go, Master. That's the way.
Russ Streiner said, "We made the film, but the people who watched it made it a classic." I hope I've played my part in helping to keep it a classic for the newer generations.